short a door person that night at the front door. So our manager asked Dianne if she would work the front door, and she, in her enthusiastic self, said of course she would. After she got done with that shift and got paid, she said she would never do that again. About that time, she had started a booking agency, and she was booking a lot of bands that were playing in the club in Austin. Bands like Radio Thieves, Mary Petrofello, Solid Sinners, of course, the great Jimmy LaFave, who we all miss dearly. And she would cover the shows. This was early on. This was probably 5 years into the start of my tenure at the club, and.
Wait a second. We have a lot of ground to cover before we get here.
February 2nd, 1951.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Oh, hell no. I'm an only child of an only child.
Do you think that affected how you were raised on the farm?
A lot of things affected how I was raised. Well, my mother was an only child and I was an only child. My maternal grandmother was the next to youngest of 12 children.
Wow.
And I grew up with my grandmother's generation around me all the time. Our house was kind of, the central location where everybody came. So there was a real family history of everybody coming and congregating at our house. And so, as an only child, I actually entertained myself pretty darn well. But we had cows and we had chickens and we had pigs and we had ducks and we had sheep and we had and horses. And so I was never without an animal to play with. And the first time I rode a horse, I was 18 months old, and my great uncle Will strapped me on the back of one of the work horses while he was plowing.
Did you ever have any accidents or fall off of a horse?
Yeah, almost amputated my arm when I was 8 years old.
That's where you have that photo of you with the cast.
Yep, with the full body cast,
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I love Dianne. Some of the best times I ever had growing up in my later teens and early 20s was doing things with Dianne Scott.
That night, an old friend, Billy, was tending bar. And I had worked periodically at this place. And I'd been getting really drunk, and when I switched over to the coffee brandy, Billy had made it like a regular coffee brandy and milk. And I called Jerry, the owner, out of the kitchen and said, "Jerry, will you show him how my drinks are made?" And Jerry was like, yeah, you just float some milk on the top. You don't
Yeah.
And so Billy just looked at me and he was so disgusted. And I said to him, "Hey, it's tough being an alcoholic." But see, now this happened on December 27th, which, is a dangerous time for people anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And I had felt like after my grandmother died that I had no purpose. And so it kind of all culminated that night. And the interesting thing is that it took me literally 30 years to figure out the significance of when I did that. December 27th of 1986, I tried to kill myself. December 27th of 1968 was the night that I was gang raped. Yeah, 2 years ago in writing class with Pamela. For the first time, I saw the
I remember
dates.
You told me about this last year.
Yeah.